have had the arrival of a letter from Edelgard. She is asking that I join her side. She is making the decision. No, she is deciding if Bridget is a friend or an enemy of the Empire. But my choice is not to be friends. My choice is to fight with you. Bridget is not a friend of the Empire. We will not be following again. We will be ready to fight with you instead.
That's so.
To think that the Flame Emperor was Edelgard all along. Flame's abduction? Geralt's murder? The turmoil in Remire Village? Whether or not she was the mastermind behind what happened, it at least seems like she was involved. And yet she was able to remain so composed while she was enrolled at the Officers' Academy.
What does war with Edelgard mean for us, Professor? And why does she even want that? I wonder why she'd think that. That's how it always goes, I guess. You never realize something can't be undone until you've done it.
No.
Pardon me.
Greetings, Professor. Something to report. Unexpected, isn't it? Apparently, this is the first time Garreg Mach has been invaded in its whole 995-year history. It's my job to protect this gate, so even if enemies come in droves, I will never let them through. I hope we both survive. Let's battle with all our might and pray we win this thing.
Well, I'll be.
You know, Professor, I'm glad that I came to the Officers' Academy. I feel accepted here. I've learned so much. Honestly, I'm surprised at how much I've grown. So, I will not let the Academy be destroyed. It's important to me, and I will protect it. I feel braver just hearing you say that, Professor. We're gonna win this, Professor.
Pardon me.
Oh no. Half of the Empire's 6 great noble families have declared their support for Edelgard. Of the other 3, Lord Vestra was assassinated. Hubert, his son, will succeed him. Bernadetta's father, Count Varley, is under house arrest. His wife is now supporting Edelgard. And my father, he was stripped of his role as Prime Minister. As a result, House Eyre has lost all of its power, all of its lands. We have lost everything. What do I do?
Pardon me.
I hear the Alliance's territory will be in danger if we don't get rid of these Empire guys. If the Alliance is in danger, that means my sister's in danger too. There's no way I'm gonna allow that. It doesn't matter how many guys they throw at us. I'll beat them all. These muscles aren't just for show. But first, I gotta get some food.
The most important nobles in the Empire
are known for taking power from the previous emperor, my father included. I didn't think it possible that the Imperial Princess could ascend the throne so easily. However, it seems that both my father and Caspar's are supporting Edelgard. Having both the Minister of Domestic Affairs and Minister of Military Affairs on your side gives you total control over the Empire's military and finances. They must have been making preparations for quite some time without anyone noticing.
His Highness calls for the head of Edelgard. For me, that is cause enough to fight. The hatred of His Highness is also my hatred. Any other feelings I may have are irrelevant. And if Edelgard was responsible in any way for the tragedy of Duscur, that is something I cannot ignore. If that is the case, then she is my enemy.
You'll battle Edelgard, right? Good luck. Me? Oh, I'm going to run away. I have zero interest in dying here, thank you very much.
Things must be pretty crazy in Fargus about now. My father must be beside himself. I don't get it. Why did Edelgard make enemies with the nobles? Ideals she believed in so much, she was willing to start a war over them? Those must be some lofty ideals, to say the least.
Is that so?
Once the Imperial army reaches the monastery, we'll have no choice but to fight.
What's going to happen to us? I believe you. With the knights on our side, and especially with you, Professor, I know we can do this!
Maybe.
The Empire's aggression cannot stand. But if we are going to attack them now, we must be honest with ourselves about our chances of success. It goes without saying that I will fight the Imperial army with everything I have for as long as I am able. But House Gloucester's territory is adjacent to Imperial lands. Let us proceed with caution.
Edelgard became emperor and raised an army, huh? Who knew the kid had it in her? I mean, yeah, of course, I knew she'd be emperor eventually, but the more I think about it, the more surprised I am. I wonder who's gonna win. Thinking about it makes me scared. We're up against the entire Imperial army. Still, I know someone as smart as you will figure something out.
Professor, what actually happened last month? I can't keep up at all. Edelgard is the Emperor? And she's declared war against the Church? So now we're at war? What is going on? I really don't understand any of this. What should I do?
Those who serve the Church must cast aside all selfish desires and devote themselves fully to their beliefs. But is it right to wield piety as a weapon? I have never considered such things before. The Church, I have always done what I thought best to save the people of Fodlan.
The Empire is moving quickly. Edelgard must have been preparing for this for a while now. If you really think about it, she must have been planning for this even before you got the Sword of the Creator. Of course she was always a step ahead of us. We were blinded by the ball and the Battle of the Eagle and Lion and everything else.
What is Edelgard even trying to achieve? She wants to destroy the Church so badly that she'll take on anyone who doesn't fall in line? I don't get it. I just can't believe she'd start a war over it. Not to mention using such nasty tactics to get her way. Could Captain Gerald's death have also been a part of her plan? Don't you go and die on me, Professor. Captain Gerald would never forgive you. Okay.
There are always small power struggles, still. It has been hundreds of years since all of Fodlan was consumed by war. I didn't actually think it would come to this. I feel as though I'm not in my rightful place. I cannot protect the things I should. Professor, if I survive this war, I wish to return to my homeland, to the land of my king.
We're falling behind. I don't know that we can keep up with the new Emperor. To think that she was able to raise an army of that size right under our noses. However hard we fight, I give us a 50% chance of winning. The enemy has too many advantages. We must make careful preparations.
Hi.
It's my job to protect Lady Rhea. I've got to do it, and I gotta do it as best I can. And if that means I gotta die for her, then I will. How could Edelgard treat Lady Rhea like she's the bad guy? She's never been anything but nice to everybody. I just don't get it at all.
That girl's starting an all-out war, isn't she? But an enemy is an enemy, no matter who they are. Don't let compassion for her get in your way.
I don't normally have a problem jumping into a fight, but it feels strange going up against my father. We aren't especially close, but he's not an opponent I'd want to face. I'd almost rather fight a monster. I hope he's not part of the group coming to attack Garreg Mach.
If I could go back to last month and throttle my carefree self. Now it turns out Edelgard is the Flame Emperor and the new Adrestian Emperor. And she's striking out against the monastery, with the full force of the Imperial army behind her. We gotta beat her at her own game, for our sake as well as Lady Rhea's.
Okay.
What?
I thought we'd all be really busy with assignments and getting ready for graduation. But now that things have turned out like this, I guess there's nothing to do but fight.
Hello there! How dare they threaten the goddess? Such a vile act cannot be forgiven. There is no need to worry, I promise you that. Divine punishment will surely fall upon them. In the days of yore, the goddess would grow angry with such insolent fools and roast them in ALL.
I guess we have no choice but to fight, have we? Oh, but why would Edelgard do something like this? I'm sure we'll be all right, though, Professor. The goddess will keep us safe.
have that girl's head. Just you wait.
Professor, war is breaking out again, is it not? There was a truly terrible war once upon a time. I never wanted another war. All we can do is steel ourselves for the fight ahead.
Professor, can we really defeat someone who is willing to turn their back on the world just to uphold their own beliefs? I've spent my whole life running in fear, and now Surely we can win if we rely on each other, right, Professor? So Edelgard, the one who calls herself the Flame Emperor, was connected to those strange beings. The Imperial Army might be using even more terrifying methods than we know. You had better be cautious, Professor. Any amount of carelessness might prove to be our undoing.
The Holy Tomb held many crest stones. This is the first time I've heard of crest stones being hidden away in such a place. But more importantly, I'm interested to know the Empire's aim. Why would their army desire crest stones? There is power there, yes. And yet, I must think on this. The crest stones lie at the heart of the events surrounding Conan Tower and the chapel as well. And of course, the crest stones somehow transform those traitors and their captives into demonic beasts. Could that possibly be their aim? The Empire's army may well plan to use crest stones to create demonic beasts.
We must protect Garreg Mach. Defiling the Holy Tomb was a sacrilege. I will not allow such a thing to happen again. The Archbishop has already given you a new responsibility. I want you to rise to that honor. I have something to ask of you.
To think Edelgard was somehow connected to the captain's murderer. Well, perhaps it's pointless to get upset about the past. My duty now is to prepare for battle. We're depending on your strength, Professor. Crush our enemies. Captain, I hope you're watching. We will protect Garreg Mach.
Excuse me. How are you, Professor? Any new changes to report? With the Imperial Army drawing near, it is most vexing that we cannot relax and converse as we once did. Thankfully, you have the divine protection of the goddess on your side. Please try to listen carefully for her voice. May the goddess's voice reach you.
Really?
The mastermind behind the attacks on the monastery was Edelgard? Wow. Doesn't make much sense, though, does it? There would need to be all sorts of territories and groups tangled up in this sort of mess. I'm gonna stop. I don't really have the head for this political stuff. Mostly, I'm worried about my old opera company. I wonder what's happening in the capital right now. I hope they're safe.
Okay, I've decided on the composition. That's right, the composition for my next paint. Wait, Professor? How long have you been standing there? You haven't been watching me, have you? No, I misspoke. Did I say painting? I meant to say, Well, I've thought for a while that it might be nice to paint the scenery here. The contours of that tree, set against the stark shapes of the faraway peaks. Of course, I only paint after I've finished my chores. I'd never put my art before my responsibilities. My studies are paramount. I shall always uphold my duties as a student of the Officers' Academy. Whereas art is a hobby of mine, you might say. Everyone has hobbies, right? I'm sure you have one. Oh, well, perhaps it's different for you, Professor. But it's perfectly normal for people to have hobbies. Reading, for instance, or fishing, or taking midday naps. For me, it's making art. Hobbies are healthy. They're a good way of relieving stress. You might consider taking up a hobby, Professor. Anything to clear your mind. Think about it. It's much easier to focus if you're feeling refreshed. There isn't a rule against hobbies, is there? If you tell me to stop, I'll stop. I shall never again put brush to canvas. Really? It's okay for me to paint? Well, I mean, if you're sure. But really, it's nothing more than a little diversion, a frivolous pastime. I think I ought to go back to my quarters now, if it's all the same to you.
Pardon me.
Really? What?
I cannot believe our negligence allowed the Empire to invade. Edelgard probably gathered her soldiers in Garreg Mach, intending to do this from the start. Soldiers disguised as merchants and pilgrims to avoid suspicion, infiltrating the entire area little by little. They couldn't be better prepared. We'll have a tough time winning this one, I'm afraid.
Well done. You have my thanks. We must defy the Archbishop.
Okay.
Now, Ange, we gotta...
I still have...
Edelgard. Why, thank you so much. Why, thank you so much. What a happy little moment. Huh? Incredible. Yeah,
Oh, really? You're such an open-minded person, Professor. I'm glad you don't judge me for living how I want to. Surely not. That was a lovely...
This is my favorite.
This is new. A little... We're falling to... However, the enemy has...
Right.
Professor!
I'll keep my... I never want...
I am ever so grateful. I am honored that you invited me. I am ever so grateful. So soothing. Huh? Right, right. Huh? Right. Whenever I look at you, a wave of nostalgia washes over me. I wonder why that is. Professor. Right. Oh! Huh? It is a different style from everyone's uniforms, but I do love the patterning on the hem. So soothing. Huh? I shall take it. That tea was very delicious. Please take care, Professor.
A question. As good a reason as any.
Professor.
Thank you.
We will do a beautiful job, I am sure.
We must give it our all.
It is done.
Stay focused. Let the lesson begin! As expected.
Let us away.
I will get the victory. I will not be stopping. Disappointing, but I...
Put me in there!
I am Ferdinand von Eyre. This can't be right.
I'll crush them all.
That's my cue.
I've got many skills, you know. Well,
no. Can I go now?
Guide me well.
Battle?
Each battle, a chance to grow. Such...
I'll send you flying! You see that? Now I can do so much.
Got him! What did I expect?
Lament your weakness.
No hesitation. Should I have held back?
What a chump.
I'm impressed.
One more success. War feeds.
I will not hold back. Only a fool challenges me. Now! I won't allow it. Behold our strategy! You are nothing.
Listen up, everyone. The Imperial Army is upon us. If you can fight, pick up a weapon. Everyone else, hurry up and evacuate. We have the goddess's protection on our side. We have nothing to fear. Victory will be ours.
Professor, are you ready? Well, hurry up. I don't need to tell you that the situation is dire. We have some support troops from the local nobles, but the army we're facing is immense. No matter how you look at it, we're at a disadvantage. To make matters worse, the enemy is being led by Edelgard. You know well how extraordinary she is.
Of course we know, but we can't let her get away. Also, please cease your unwarranted glaring. We don't deserve your judgment.
My father was removed from his role as Prime Minister, and is still under house arrest in the Imperial capital. As his successor, it is my duty to stop her.
The way she's going about all of this is wrong. It's up to us to help her realize that.
I won't be following her, but I won't run away either.
80's going to come at us with all she's got, and that's a lot. That means we need to fight her with all of our might, too.
She is one who has strength. That has certainty. But we have strength also. We will not be losing.
I shall fight with all that I have. It is an honor to fight alongside each of you.
You students really have guts, don't you? Though I suppose I can't call you students anymore. You're now part of our order. You have our support and our gratitude. Professor, I'm counting on you. Go ahead and take the lead. These kids, they look up to you. I guess that goes without saying. Just look in their eyes and you can see it. If we all make it through this, let's meet again. Good luck out there!